must be legal. That time he had been suspended.
Senator, I don't know whether you charge your governor for legal advice, but I want to propose that he could benefit from pro bono legal advice.
You know, the county attorney has advised governor that it's not his business to choose who is inviting him to appear. The county assembly must be operational. The question we are asking as a committee is, you got invitations from a clerk on behalf of the assembly. What harm would it do to you if you responded? Because we're having a situation where the county assembly is telling us, you have refused to forward documents to the office. What damage would it have caused you if you complied and forwarded the documents, as your county attorney is saying?
You know, members of the county assembly had been cited for contempt of court. I didn't want to join that list.
This is, do you know the difference between an MCA and a clerk? The communication came from the office of a clerk. There is a difference between Nyagenya and the Senator Wambua. Are we together, Governor?
Not together because
what do you want us to do so that we are together?
Communicated had been suspended.
Governor, we have just told you, whoever is in office in the county assembly is none of your business. They are citing Article 2298, which allows the assembly to ask that you supply documents emanating from the audit.
We will comply.
Do you know the timelines? Have you read that article? Can you read it?
There is something I want to.
Do you know the timelines in the Constitution? Governor, do you know the timeline?
Timelines are clear.
So when will you comply? The deadline is on 31st. You want to go back and comply this afternoon while in Nairobi? When you are telling us that you will comply to their request and you have only 3 days to the statutory time given by Article 229. So when will you comply?
Members, we...
no, Chair, it's good to know. Let's hear the miracle from Governor. When will he comply?
It's good to know. Chair, the attorney has prosecuted that matter very well. I don't think whether we have any other engagement with the governor.
Yeah, because I think from the advice of the attorney, if it was sought, that is what you ought to have done. There's a difference between the office and the bearer of the office. The office of the clerk is an institution. It does not matter whether there's a man or a woman in there. The letters you receive from the Senate, many a times they are authored by some of my clerks here, because that is an institution. It's not about the person. Now, even your offer to comply is null and void, because you have only 2-3 days to the end of the reporting period. And so if we find that a county is dysfunctional, because this is a county then that is dysfunctional, we have recourse in the PFM, we have recourse in the Constitution. And I think we must apply our minds to the recourse that is available to us. Senator Wambua.
Chair, if you allow me, I want to engage the governor on just 2 or 3 issues. One, Governor Nyaribo, was the county executive a party in the court proceedings? Were you a party in the court proceedings?
We were not.
You are not. So when the judgment came out, or the ruling came out, did the court serve you with their ruling?
Obviously, we want a copy because we are interested parties outside the case.
No, don't say obviously. I want to deal with real issues. So you were served.
Yes.
Okay, Chair. We want to get that copy of the ruling so that we know what is it exactly that the court advised the executive to do or not to do in relation to the rankles within the assembly. Lastly, Chair, what I wanted the governor to go on record on this matter, because he is the chief executive officer, and he has said it. And Governor Nyaribo, I am an avid reader of the Bible, and I believe you are. I know SDA is very, very strong in Nyamira and in Kisii. And I'm very sure at some point you must have come a verse that says that to whom much is given, much is expected. So you must be ready, willing, to be held to the highest standards of accountability and responsibility in Nyamira County. Are you telling this committee, and through this committee, this country, that you as the chief executive officer of Nyamira, you have 2 county assemblies in Nyamira, and until last week you did not even know which assembly is legitimate and which one was illegitimate, that you have 2 clerks in the County Assembly of Nyamira, and until last week you are not sure which of these 2 clerks is legitimately in office and which one is not legitimately in office. And in a situation like that, Governor Nyaribo, being a responsible leader in this country, if you are, would you say that the county government of Nyamira is functional? Is that a functional county? Or in the interest of the people of Nyamira that have bestowed upon you such responsibility, would you actually be the person leading in saying, let us dissolve this county to make it work, to make service delivery to the people of Nyamira be effective? Because as it were, with only one arm of government in office and factions in the other arm of government, this is a dysfunctional county.
Governor, that's, I think, a fairly lengthy question, and it's crafted in a way to give us a way forward. I want to hear your short comments on that. I'll come back to the members of the Assembly. I also want to hear their take, because issues have been said about the Assembly, but they've not been able to respond. Governor, and let's be quite brief.
Chairman, as I had said before, there are 2 factions. One is sitting in the Assembly, whose speaker was declared illegal by the honorable courts. The other one is now functioning in Mashinani. And Mashinani had been gazetted areas where Assembly can sit. As we are talking now, they are working. So I can say now, we have one functioning, and I'm calling them next week for a meeting so that we can move forward.
So which one do you recognize?
The one which court recognized.
Which one is it? The one machinery or the one in the chamber?
Headed by Enoch Okero and the clerk in Nyamira. So
no, for us who don't understand those names,
it's operating in Mashinani. It's operating in Mashinani. So I want them to come together and work, because court pronounced who the legitimate speaker is, who the legitimate clerk is.
Let me just pause there. Honorable members of County Assembly, these things we are hearing about your County Assembly are very untidy. So which faction do you belong to, now that the governor says there are 2 factions? And just repeat your name for record purposes.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to start by being apologetic that it's an unfortunate event in our county that is happening, and that we are here wasting Senate's time asking which faction is operational. Chair, in Nyamira, there are even more worse scenarios than the ones that you had here. In Nyamira, Chair, we impeached a speaker on 24th October. After impeachment, he went outside, he called some few MCAs, and then he started operating a punge mashinani. Honorable Chair, as we are talking, the supplementary budget that we have had here,
He went with the mess and sergeant at
it
arms.
did not go with the mess.
Sergeant at arms.
It did not go with the sergeant at
The
arms.
speaker's robe.
Everything is remained. But once he went outside,
Did you pass any motion for bunge mashinani? Did you pass a motion
no,
as assembly?
no.
Okay, proceed.
Once he went outside there, he created his own mess.
And how much was passed by what we have called one function, this supplementary budget? How much money are we looking at?
Pardon?
The governor has just said that he sent his supplementary budget to one faction. Okay?
Yes.
Are you aware of that budget?
But we know it was passed the other side because it never came to our side at any given time. So we cannot expressly say what was inside because it never came to the house. By the way, Chairman, Nyamira County Assembly is one that is gazetted, and it was gazetted in 2017. The buildings, as Senator was asking, they are there, and they are known the place where they are. Staff of the County Assembly is still there. I don't know now the people is operating with outside there because the staff is intact. As you've asked, the sergeant at arms is here, the mess is here, everything is at the assembly. So the operation that is going outside there, which is an unfortunate event where our governor is taking the documents that are very serious, is run by one person who was impeached. And for purposes of record, he has not gotten any order after that impeachment. And in fact, he went to court challenging that impeachment. And the case hearing is coming on 2nd of April. So still, he stands impeached. For purposes of record, again, I want to say, and I know this one is known, that once the speaker is not there, the deputy speaker takes over. If the deputy speaker is not there, there is speaker's panel, which takes over. So there's no vacuum at any given time that the assembly can stop operating. So if the speaker was not there, the deputy speaker is there. If the deputy speaker is not there, the speaker's panel is there. So there's no point why we should be told that the speaker was having issues. As my parting shot, Chair, I want to urge the Senate that maybe if you can find time and come to the ground, even before you take those serious measures, if you can find time, come to the ground, maybe we try to find a solution together, because it is really your mandate to make counties work, and us as primary oversight, we are ready to come together. Then we find a solution together on the ground, such that some of these...
But Honorable Nyamira,
Yes, yes.
You know, if you are telling the Senate of the Republic of Kenya that you can create a faction, you say that faction went and sat somewhere, they have passed a budget, that's public money, that money is being appropriated, there are 2 county assemblies, there are 2 clerks, the governor is elected to deal with one function. Don't you think we can now invoke Article 192 and suspend the county government of Nyamira? Because the governor knows under Article 176 we have county government of Nyamira and the assembly. I mean, we have so many counties surrounding Nyamira. All of them are an island of peace. Why chaos in Nyamira? If governor is not able to put his house in order, we recommend we suspend the county government of Nyamira.
Mr. Chairman.
Governor, was that
I'm asking the MCA.
Yeah, let the MCA respond. I'll give you an opportunity to respond.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, me and the Senator come from the same place. We happen to know the scenarios in Nyamira. Chair, I want to request that even before we move to that level, because I know some of these things can be sorted, only that they just wanted to assume that they are ignorant of the law. Now that the Attorney General, the Attorney of the county has advised here, while we are all here, and we've heard him very clearly, we want to assume that maybe this advice was not given prior to this, and then urge that you give us time, we go down, and if he does not respond, then we are ready that that county be dissolved, because it is chaotic, I'm telling you. And if we were to talk about service delivery, we can say that we are slightly behind. And the governor and the senator can bear me witness because he comes from that place. But before we take serious measure, I want to urge the Senate that you find it good that give us time, give the governor time to go and put his house in order, and then he listens to the advice of the attorney, the one he has given here, and then maybe you give us time and then we do the next.
Members, we must not allow our eyes off the ball. We came here to ask how 5.8 billion Kenya shillings was utilized in Nyamira. Now, we have come across other strange animals in the process, and we must not run after those animals and forget about the one that we're chasing. We definitely must come back to the 5.8 billion, because where people are sitting mashinani or wherever, it doesn't matter. The government is spending, and the Auditor General has compiled 15 pages of financial malpractice and irregularities. For us as a committee, that is our starting point, that is our focus. We cannot force you to love each other, but we must force you to work together for the people of Nyamira. Now, Governor, there's something you wanted to say at some point. I'll give you a minute.
I wanted to challenge our senator. He is one of the people who have been fueling fire, and is now behaving like a priest here.
You are actually doing what you're accusing your senator of doing.
Governor,
Be very careful.
Look for other scapegoats. You know, you should be telling us about the queries on how you have spent money. Running away with the name of senator will not help you. If you have misappropriated money, that's what you should be of concern to you. We're here to get answers how you have spent money. So if you think that by giving the auditor documents later and come and shout the name of senator, that will not absolve you. If that county is in chaos, the buck stops with you. That is your skunk. You either put your county in order or you quit. I'm not a governor in Nyamira, I'm a senator sitting in Nairobi. And if I can outwit you, then you're not worth being in office.
I know you.
Put your house in order in Nyamira, Governor.
I know you. That's why you undermine me all the time. But remember,
put your house in order.
Remember, the report we have is a qualified report, which is not as skunk as you are trying to say. It's
now,
Governor,
Order, Governor.
Yes.
I must bring this exchange to an end.
Yes.
It is not useful to anybody. It is not useful to the Senate. It is not useful to the people of Nyamira. They expect when you come to Nairobi, you are coming to seek solutions. I will not allow this meeting to be one that fuels further division amongst the leadership of Nyamira. We must give direction that Governor, Senator, members of County Assembly must provide leadership. The concern of the Senator from Samburu is on the 5.8 billion that he voted to go to Nyamira. There are other things that can be sorted by Council of Elders or can be sorted by the electorate, can be sorted at the next electoral cycle. We must get responses on the 5.8 billion. whether it is today or after 31st of March, we shall be invoking Article 125 of the Constitution, which gives Parliament the power to summon anybody, and anybody means even the President. Parliament can summon even the President to provide evidence. We must report to the House tomorrow. Now the question is, what report are we taking to the House with regards to Nyamira? As you've seen my colleagues talking of a government that is broken down. You've seen the senator making proposals around suspension of the county government. Is that the report that we should be taking to the floor of the House tomorrow?